Hey, beautiful people of the Most High God. So, I just want to talk about, in the Word of God, it tells us that my mother, my brother, my sister are those who do the will of God. So, and it also tells us about titles. So, let's use our logic, wisdom, and understanding in this thing. Is it a mother if it doesn't act like a mother? My mother and my brother and sister are those who do the will of God. Is it a brother if it doesn't act like a brother? Is it a sister if it doesn't act like a sister? Huh? Is it a teacher if it doesn't teach you? You understand? We gotta stop worrying about these titles that people carry. Love is an action word. So is it a mother if it doesn't operate like a mother? The actions, does it have the actions of a mother? Is it a brother if it doesn't have the actions of a brother? Let your mother, brother, and sister be those who do the will of God. Is it a mother to you? Does it do the will of God? And that's your mother. You understand? These are just titles. Everybody wants the title of being something, but their actions behind it don't prove that. Is it a husband if it doesn't act like a husband? You get what I'm saying? Is it a wife if it doesn't act like a wife? Your actions weigh more than your title. So a lot of people are in relationships, but their action doesn't hold no weight with their title. You get what I'm saying? And another thing I want to talk about is how the love of money. You got people who love money so much. You get what I'm saying? And money addicts. You can compare them to drug addicts as well, crackheads. Like, let me say they have the same type of tendencies. All right? Just like people who are drug addicts, they'll do anything for the drugs. They'll put themselves in uncomfortable situations for the drugs. Just like people, for money, they'll put themselves in uncomfortable situations for the money. You got people who stay in abusive relationships all because of money and material gain. You got, people who are drug addicts who are in abusive situations and stay there because of the drugs. You got people who won't do what's good for them and leave a toxic situation because of the drugs, their addiction to the drugs. And just like people, their addiction to money. They'll take bribes because of their addiction to money. Just like people who are drug addicts, they'll take a bribe for the addiction of money. They'll take on a lot of toxic behaviors and a lot of ill treatment just because of money. How many people do you know are with people that they don't want to be with, all because of the money? How many, addicts that you know are in situations they don't want to be in, but they'll do it because of the money? And another thing with that, people for money who are addicted to money, they'll even do sexual favors for the money. What's the difference? Don't people who are addicted to drugs do the same thing? The addiction of money and the addiction of drugs are two of the most dangerous things that you can deal with, because the addiction of money and the addiction of drugs can make you be abused, and not only that, you'd prostitute yourself. You put yourself at risk and at danger, physically, health-wise, mentally, emotionally, and in many situations. How many people compromise? So don't you see, people who have money addictions and drug abuse, crack addictions, they compromise the same addictions, because they both will do prostitution for the money or for the drugs. They both will stay in toxic relationships for the money or for the drugs. You understand? One wants the drugs, one wants the money. How many women are taking beatings and with a man because of the money? How many men are with women stuck in their house and won't leave them because of the money? How many people do you know are with people that they don't like but they're with them because of the money. They're financing a life that they don't think that they can get for themselves because they're lazy. They're with someone because of the material goods, the car they drive, the house they have. When they can have that house themselves, when they can have that car themselves. You understand? Money addiction and drug addiction are the two worst and horriblest addictions. Overcome that. Are you going to be doing things? Well, they already are doing things to compromise their happiness. They're not happy. They're not happy. They're in an unhappy situation every day. And I don't care about people. And let's go back to titles. So I'm just going to talk to you, I'm out here. I'm going to go back to titles. When we go into this thing called titles, let people's actions prove the title that they are to you. Is it a wife if it doesn't act like a wife? Is it a husband if it doesn't act like a husband? Is it a brother if it doesn't act like a brother? Is it a friend if it doesn't act like a friend? Let their actions prove everything behind, and forget the title. I don't care about people's title. I don't care about them titles. Are you a doctor if you can't heal? You see what I'm saying? Anybody could call themselves whatever, but does the actions teach that? You got people who went to school for teaching, but are they good teachers? Did they teach you anything? Some of you went to school, there were good teachers who taught you and you learned from, and there were teachers that couldn't get through to you didn't learn from. You understand? There's people who don't have titles of what they are, but they still could teach you. Some people learn more on YouTube than they learned in school. And I'm just saying that as an example. I'm saying, are you a teacher if you really can't teach nobody? That's just a title. I don't care about no college or university degree, diploma or bachelor's. That means nothing. And that means nothing to God. Because to your several ability, can you teach? To your several ability, are you a good doctor? You see what I'm saying? To your several ability, does your actions prove that you're a good brother, a sister, or a mother? My mother, my brother, and my sister are those who do the will of God. I don't care about the title. You understand? You're here to understand that. I don't care about people's title. You shouldn't care about anyone's title either. And I hope this opened up your understanding. Stay blessed.